I'm Amy Paul, and today we'll do Art in a Day in Fayetteville, Arkansas at the University of Arkansas. We'll be discussing the architect, Faye Jones, who is responsible for starting the architect program at the University of Arkansas. The school is actually in the background, and in front of it you'll see the Fulbright Peace Fountain, which was given to the University of Arkansas by Faye Jones as his last hurrah. It's actually supposed to be shaped like an exclamation point if you look very closely. We'll be discussing Thorncrown Chapel in Eureka Springs, Arkansas today, but please pay close attention to the artistic characteristics, considerably the hard flags that comprise this fountain, as you'll also see them in the Thorncrown Chapel later on in the video. The Thorncrown Chapel rests on land that was originally purchased by Jim Reed to build his retirement home. He noticed that people would often come up to this piece of land to get a better view of the Ozark Mountains. Instead of deciding to build a fence to keep tourists out and away, he decided he wanted to build a place for them to come, relax, and be inspired. The idea of the glass chapel was born. He proposed his idea to Faye Jones, a professor at the University of Arkansas, who eventually brought his dream to life. Ground was broke on March 23, 1979, but funds quickly dissipated halfway through the project. Jim Reed became incredibly humbled by this and went to the chapel for what he thought would be the very last time. But something moved Jim Reed that day, and for the first time he hit his knees and prayed in this chapel. Money became available to finish the project just a few days later. The Thorncrown Chapel was finished on July 10, 1980. In order to keep with the natural setting of the Thorncrown, Faye Jones decided that it would be comprised of the structural elements no larger than what two men could carry through the woods by themselves to the site. This led the chapel to being composed mainly of pressure-treated pine and glass. The larger components, such as trusses, were built on the chapel floor and raised into place. The Thorncrown Chapel is composed of many straight, hard lines due to being made of pine and glass. Triangles and rectangles are two repeating geometrical shapes in this piece. The texture of the building is that of nature, stone, wood, and water, which come from the glass being similar to the calm body of water. At night, the building creates an illusion that the chapel is encircled by crosses cast on the ground from lights within the chapel. This piece is religiously valuable because it is first and foremost a place for worship for Christians. It is where countless people have come to worship, to be married, and to have other religious celebrations. This piece is special because its setting captures the Christian God's artwork of nature. Taking all of this beauty in, as well as in such a beautiful place itself, makes the chapel religiously valuable because it makes the tourists and visitors feel relaxed and inspired, and tends to the visitors' spiritual well-being, which is what Jim Reed's main goal was all about. Jones wants the viewer to feel inspired, to push the psychological limits they have. It is a place to come, gather your thoughts, and plan your next step onto whatever goal you might have. It is a place to get in touch with your inner being and come to terms with any turmoil in your life. It was originally built to be a place to come and quite literally just disappear into the nature. The chapel was inspired by the Saint Chapelle in Paris, which is a Gothic chapel. The Thorncrown style is known as Ozark Gothic because of this. Gothic-style architecture played a large role in the design of many churches. Thorncrown differs from the Gothic style in the Saint Chapelle. The Saint Chapelle was composed of stone and stained glass, while Thorncrown is made of pine and plain glass. Both pieces share similarities in the geometrical shapes used, straight lines and triangles. One big difference is that Thorncrown appears exactly the same from the inside as it does from the outside, while the Saint Chapelle has a very different exterior and interior characteristics. Thorncrown is very simple, playing off the surrounding beauty of nature. Saint Chapelle is very detailed and busy creating its own internal beauty. I chose this piece because I had been admiring the piece since I first stumbled across a picture of it and thought it was a great excuse to get to see the Thorncrown Chapel in person. Since choosing this piece, I have fallen even more in love with the story behind it. It's truly a gem in Arkansas. It's a beautiful example of how being inspired by one piece of art can create a whole entire new piece that can be somewhat similar to the original, but still has its very different and original self.